Good evening. Tonight we're going to review this beautiful American Professional Stratocaster in Olympic white. One of the best electric guitars, stock electric guitars ever made, in my opinion. I haven't played them all, so you can correct me if you think I'm wrong. But other than, one-offs or luthier jobs or custom shop jobs, in terms of mainstream, stock manufactured, high-quality electric guitars, in my opinion, this and the Telecaster, the American Professional Series in general, tonight we're talking about the Strat. This is one of the best electric guitars ever made. And you might know that Fender has discontinued the line. So tonight we're going to review this particular American Professional Strat, because every guitar is a little different, so I'm going to talk about this one. And then we're going to talk a little bit about the American Professional Series. I actually have a couple guitars from that series, and I've kind of followed it right along. And I know they've discontinued it, and we're still kind of waiting to see exactly what they come out with. I guess they've come out with a few little hints of what will replace it, but we're going to talk about that tonight. So RIP to the American Professional Series. It wasn't around that long. Great guitars. I'm kind of excited to see what they come up with. I'm also a little concerned, I guess, just as a consumer, because this is one of the best guitars you can get for your money, or the Tele, or the other ones in the series, Jazzmaster, Jaguar, I'm sure are good too. But this series is awesome, and the Strats and Teles, I can guarantee you, will be. If you like Fender guitars, you're not going to get a better one. There's so many videos on YouTube that are kind of reviews of the American Professional Strat, and really all guitars. I mean, it's just a gold mine of videos, and so many of them are good. So I'm not just going to go through all the specs. You can see all that. I'm going to give more my personal take on the guitar. This is the American Professional Strat. That's mine. This is the Olympic white one. I wasn't going to buy it. And then in my mind, what happened to me? I was a goner. I all of a sudden thought of Jimi Hendrix at Woodstock playing that white Strat, and it was it. I just caved in and bought it. Oh, I couldn't. It was actually online, and I got it used, but at a good price. And let me say something about the price. The American Professional Standards, I think, are going to go up in price. You were getting them used for about $900 in June and July. Now they're about $1,200. On average. You'll still see some that are less than that, but I noticed the overall price going up. So again, I'm giving my personal take on things. I'm not just going to kind of recount the details, but I'll say the details and give my personal take. The tuners, I think, are excellent. Some people mention that it doesn't have locking tuners. I don't care. they keep the guitar in great tune. They're really solid, well-made tuners. You know, someday if I get a guitar with locking tuners, I'm sure that would be fine. From what I understand, they don't tune the guitar any better. They make it easier to change strings. Those are excellent tuners, top notch. This guitar stays in great tune, and it's an electric guitar with a trem system, and it stays in good tune. It's got a bone nut. Everybody seems to think that bone nut is important, and I like it. So you can, you know, YouTube all the discussions about the bone nut, but it seems to be an important thing. I love the neck. The neck has got this deep sea carve on it. It's got this skunk stripe, but the neck has got a deep sea carve and medium jumbo frets, and it's really easy to play. It's a really nice guitar. It's got the V-Mod pickups. You know all that. Look at that beautiful finish. Just pure white. Pure like your mama. Oh my goodness, that's nice. Look at that. Everything's well made. You know, I don't need to go through it all. It's got a good bridge. It is the gloss polyurethane finish. You know, I've got a Highway 1 with the nitro, and I love the nitro. And one of these days, I'd like to get another guitar with nitro. That's one thing I would like a nitro finish, because I think this guitar looks so great, and you know what? It's going to look, unless I ding it all up, it's going to look like this in 30 years. Whereas my nitro guitar, even if I never ding it, I'm take immaculate care of it. If I play it, it's going to, you know, the nitro guitar will start to wear up here, and you know, and that you kind of want that, don't you? Really, let's be honest. This guitar is going to look like this in 50 years, you know, from what I understand. I won't be here to see it, but I love it. It's beautiful, and it's just a great playing guitar. I love the concept of the American Professional Series, and to me, I'm going to review the guitar. I'll toss a couple guitar clips in there, but to me, the concept of the American Professional Series was a great concept, which basically replaced the American Standard Series, which was their guitar for 30 years, I think, starting in 1987. So, and it's often called their flagship guitar. The concept of that place in the lineup, you know, Fender has guitars that are lesser priced that are also good, but you know, and when they're lesser priced, they often have you know, not quite as maybe high quality parts, or maybe they make a few more per hour, and that, you know, there's not the care in each one that you see when you get a higher priced guitar. And then they've got some upper end ones that maybe have even more personal attention given to them, and often the upper end ones have, I call them upcharge ones. You know, you can always add some more things and charge more money. So some of the ones above that flagship point, which is the American Professional, the American Standard, some of the ones above that will have, you know, maybe fancier finishes, which is nice, you know, like a nitro finish, different colors, and sometimes what I would call gimmicks, you know, push-pull pots and things like that. And those can be nice. Sometimes they seem a little superfluous to me, because you can, no matter how nice something is, you can always add one more thing and make it cost a little more, and that's an upcharge. But to me, the concept of the American Professional Series, which is, I think, the American Standard concept, was just, you've kind of arrived. You've now got a traditional Fender guitar, very traditional. It's in the tradition of the great iconic Fender line, with everything just made just right. You know, it's not different. It's just really high quality. A traditional guitar made it a really high quality, and with some modern tweaks. So the other thing I like about the Fender Professional series is they're not trying to do one of these recreations of a 1957 guitar, because as good, you know, I mean, where it's just, even maybe things as good as those guitars might have been in 1957, there are some things that are better about 2020. So if you just make a guitar just like it was in 1957, you're going to have some of the limitations of 1957. So to me, this series adds little modern tweaks, like to the neck. It's got a little bit of a modern neck, so you can, you know, that deep C cut has a more modern, you can play your chords really well, which is sort of a traditional, you know, you want to be able to play chords on a guitar, and then, but you can also bend strings really well, you know, when you get up the neck. And it's just, so the concept is a really traditional guitar, but made really, really well, where you've kind of reached the level where there's, everything is where it should be. You know, they're not stinting on any parts or anything. And then you've got upcharge models. But the American Professional Series, they also made the modern tweaks that made it a 2020 guitar. So they're not trying to make it modern in the sense of it's for, you know, some kind of a neo player that doesn't play traditional music. But the things that some modern technology can do better, they put on the guitar without really changing the traditional nature of the guitar. So I've always thought that was great. Now, what I liked about the American Professional Series when it came out is you had the traditional tellies and butterscotch blonde, two-color sunburst. You know, you had in these Strats, you had the traditional iconic colors. You know, like the Olympic white. Oh, you know, like I said, I bought, when I saw that, I wasn't going to buy it, and then I just had that flash in my mind of Hendrix. You know, and but it's so beautiful, and it's got that kind of off-white, but that's a traditional Strat color, or the two-color burst like the Clapton Brownie, or the black like the Clapton Blackie, or, you know, they're just a couple of those really traditional colors. Now, they are coming out with an American Professional Series 2. You know, and I think a lot of that's TBA, to be announced. But they've released some little tidbits. I think earlier this month they released a few little, and they look like kind of special run type guitars. They were some special colors, and I'm sure they're good guitars, or like maybe solid rosewood necks, things like that, that are all cool. But you know what? I don't think you're going to see much anymore. They've discontinued the American Professional line, from what I understand. In fact, I talked to a guy on the customer service at Fender because I wanted to see about a Fender neck for another guitar, and we were just talking for briefly, and he said they've discontinued the line. And if you look at the, you know, Guitar Center Sweetwater, that's drying up, and what you're seeing a smaller, I think they're kind of selling off their inventory. And you are seeing American Professionals come out in non-traditional colors, like greens and kind of blues, and, you know, which are cool. You know, I'm not knocking those. I like those too. But you know, what this was the idea of a traditional guitar, just really well made, but also a 2020 guitar, not a 1963 guitar. So that to me was the American Professional concept, and I thought it was a great concept. A traditional guitar, but really well made to today's standards, and where they could change some of the old things about the guitar. They weren't afraid to do it, to make it play better, not to make it look different, not to, you know, kind of snazz it up, but just to make it play better and work better. And, you know, and if the parts could be higher quality and last longer and be more reliable and all. So it was a modern guitar in that sense, but a very traditional guitar. And I think the colors that were available in the American Professional were of those traditional colors. And the American Professional Series was about the tradition of Fender in the 2020 setting, you know. And it was and I'm not sure why they discontinued it. You know, I sometimes think that, who knows? I think it was so good that it, you know, they had, it probably was competing with their custom shop. I think I don't see how a guitar could be much better. And when you've got a beautiful guitar like a two-color Sunburst, that's like a top-of-the-line professional quality guitar, I don't know how any of them could play much better. RIP to the American Professional Series. I'm sure Fender's going to keep going. I don't mean to make it sound like this ominous thing, in the end of the world. It's just a guitar, and they'll keep going. But I do think it might portend something kind of different, where American-made traditional Fender guitars of that really high quality become more of a upper-end guitar instead of that really kind of mainline, top-notch, but kind of a good, well-manufactured, American-made guitar, that was not fancy, but just really good. Because like I said, I don't know, that they were competing with themselves, I think, because I imagine these American Professionals were outselling almost they're great guitars. And the American Specials are good guitars, I think. So I don't know. I have no idea what their balance sheets are or what their inside discussions are, but that was kind of my take on it. So great guitars, American Professional, and I've got some more American Professional guitars. I'm going to review each one individually, but this Olympic White Strat is just really beautiful.